Blessings to you. Blessings to you. I pray everyone is having an amazing day. Um, how has your Wednesday been? Um, we are we are back tonight. We are back tonight. Uh, Last week had some things to handle, but we are back tonight. So how is your Wednesday going? How is your Wednesday going, everyone? How is your Wednesday going? I hope the storm didn't knock out your power. I haven't experienced uh, any power outages so far. Mother English, love you. Love you. Uh, Gil, love you, man. Um, how has your Wednesday been? It's been, raining all day long. So how have you guys been holding up during the storm? How have you guys been holding up during the storm? I think it's a tornado watch and some other things going on today. So it's been an interesting day. But how has your day been? How have things been going? How have things been going? Busy day, professional development. It'll get you. It'll get you. Caleb, love you, man. I want to see you in church soon. Mama T, I love you. I pray you guys are well. I pray you guys are well. I am excited for what the Lord is going to impart into us tonight. And I just want to take a moment to thank everyone for your support over the last 2 months. I have been preaching a lot. And I just want to thank everybody for your support during that time. It was a stretch for me. Riley, I love you. Congratulations! I saw you singing with Youthful Praise. That was a proud moment as a pastor to see that. And there's more to come. There's more stages like that coming your way. Stay humble. I'm telling you guys, I'm ready to open some amazing doors for you, Riley. I'm so proud of you. It's been a long 2 months. And you guys have been with me. Some of you have been able to go with me all the time. Some of you have only been able to go in a few moments, but even in the times of still making sure home was good and making sure things were together, I just want to take a moment to thank you for an amazing July and August with support to the praise team and to the amazing band. Thank you guys for accompanying me when you could. It was a tour. It was like I love you more, Riley. It was like a 2-month tour, Lamika. It was a 2 month tour, but I appreciate every single last one of y'all. Jonica, you're too kind. Preaching down. Thank you so much. I've been, I believe in giving God my all, and when it comes to preaching, I've just found my own little niche, and I stay in my lane. I don't try to be anybody or do anything that I wouldn't do anywhere else. And I'm comfortable. I'm free. These last 2 months have freed me, not from people, but freed me from some of my bad habits and ideas and thoughts and all that kind of stuff. These last 2 months have been almost like therapy for me. It was almost like the more I preached, the more God revealed to me the things that I needed to change and the things I needed to improve on. And nobody even knew. God worked on me and in a span of 2 months, and just constantly reminding me of the things that I need to do and how I can make myself better. George, all the way from Chicago. Wow, man, thanks for joining us tonight. And so it was a journey for me. It was an exhausting 2 months, but I learned a lot about me in those 2 months, and some things I didn't even realize. I didn't even know. And I think on Sunday I spoke about the spirit of offense, and how I was praying for God to remove something that I had inserted in the environment, And so those moments are very, very humbling, but they're also very life changing. And I am, again, just grateful to each of you for your love and support as I continue to grow and to the space that the Lord has me in. All right. So let's go here. Don't forget that convocation is coming. Convocation is coming. Oh, Mother English, I love you so much. Convocation is coming, and I want you to make plans to attend Kingdom City Alliance Holy Convocation 2021. If you have not made your room reservations, listen, you need to make your reservations tonight. When we get done Bible study, if you have not made your room reservations, I want you to make your room reservations. And we are going to be blessed. I cannot wait. We are going to be blessed by this convocation, this meeting, this time, 2 ministries, 1 assignment. And I believe that God is going to do exactly what we need him to do. I'm believing for bodies to be healed. I'm believing for miracles to happen. And I know that God is going to meet us in a special way. Bishop Anthony Gilliard will be there. Our Reverend Marissa Farrow will be there. So I'm excited for what God is going to do. So make plans to attend. You go to kcaconvocation.com. All of our information is on the website, and we want to worship with you. So make sure you join us. Listen, all roads lead to Philadelphia Sunday, September 12th, 5 p.m. We are going to serve Pastor Cameron Washington, and I want all of KDT to join me. I want all of KDT to join me as we go to celebrate Pastor Cameron Washington. Okay, so I want you to stay tuned for some special instructions regarding this day. I want every single last member of KDT to accompany me to Philadelphia that day as we are going to celebrate the 4th pastoral anniversary of Pastor Cameron Washington. My brother, y'all know how much I love him. All roads lead to Philadelphia. We are going there to celebrate him for the work he's done. And he just continues to just execute in a way that is full of excellence. They have their HC sound stage up, and he is in there having physical church. And I mean, they are having church. And so I'm excited. This is going to be a special, special day. And I want every single person to join me. So I want you to make plans to team up with people, get together, put gas money together, everybody get in one car, and let's come on up and let's celebrate Pastor Cameron Washington. I'm going to have special instructions for this day. So KDT, I want you to stay tuned. I will have special instructions for what we need to do to celebrate Pastor Cameron Washington. On Sunday, September 26th, is our Sacrificial Seed Sunday. That is the day that we will be sowing our $100 into the ground for God to do what we need him to do. And we're believing that this seed is going to bless us. People that need homes, we believe this seed is going to provide it for you. Some people looking for jobs, we believe this seed is going to open the door. Businesses, education, wealth, advancements, family, health. Yes, we want to make sure that we are putting our seed in the ground so that God can do the things that we need him to do for us. And I believe that God is going to do exactly what he said he will do. So Sunday, September 26th, do not forget, Sunday, September 26th, and our 1 p.m. service, we will be sowing our sacrificial seed. That will be Sacrificial Seed Sunday. And we want everybody to participate in this. And we want everybody to take part in this because we believe that God is going to do something special, something miraculous, and something that we never thought would ever be possible. But God's going to show us that when we all get on one accord, anything is possible. And I believe that God is going to literally blow our minds and show us exactly who he is in our lives. Okay. So let's jump into our session for tonight. And we're continuing on destroying the battle in my mind, destroying the battle in my mind. And we all know, and we have been honest, and we've talked about this multiple times, that we can honestly say that there is a battle in our minds that we have at times that gets the best of us, right? And so in order to destroy that battle, we have to have a unique perspective that allows us to override the thing that has been overriding us, right? And so in order to replace a behavior, you need something that has the ability to override the thing that is already there, right? And so we don't want to remove a thing without being able to replace it with a tool that allows us to be better, right? And so what I found in my 2 months was that God allowed some things to be removed from me, but then he replaced me with the tools that I needed in order to maintain the level of focus, concentration, and execution that he had, right? And so the things that were distracting me or not allowing me to meet the expectation in certain areas, God removed those things. But then what he did was he replaced those things with the tools that I needed in order to continue to make the necessary progress. And the only way that those things work is when your mind is open to change, when your mind is open to growth, when your mind is open to development. And if you can only focus on what you used to do, how you used to do it, when you used to do it, and who you used to do it with, then you have a fixed mindset. And a fixed mindset stunts our growth and it keeps us in a holding pattern. But when we have a growth mindset, it allows our mind to be open to a thing that we never thought was a thing and allows us to accomplish a thing. I'll say it again. When we have a growth mindset, it opens us up to a thing that we didn't realize was a thing so that we can accomplish the thing. Okay. So let's make sure that in all of our growth that we're always having an open mindset so that God can impart some things into us that are beneficial to our development and our progress. All right. So remember, we talked about the theory of the mind and we talked about the social cognitive perspective, right? And theory of the mind is an important social cognitive skill that involves the ability to think about mental states, both your own and those of others, right? So the theory of the mind is an important social cognitive skill that involves the ability to think about mental states, both your own and those of others. It encompasses the ability to attribute mental states, including emotions, desires, beliefs, and knowledge, right? And we talked about those gears that we see in our image at the bottom of the screen. We talked about those gears, right? The gears of belief, knowledge, emotions, and intentions, right? And being able to encompass all of those things and use the skill necessary to understand the mental state of not only yourself, but also the mental state of others that we encounter, right? So Max Lucado says this. He says, fear never wrote a symphony or poem, negotiated a peace treaty, or cured a disease, right? So the battle in the mind that we're talking about tonight is fear, right? And this battle is one that is common, not just amongst the church, but it's common in the world today. I see it in my students. I see it in many of my friends. I even see it in some people that are on the cusp of being successful. Fear is the thing that oftentimes keeps them back. And let me tell you something. One of my biggest hindrances when I began pastoring was the fear of success. I was actually fearful to be successful, right? As crazy as that may sound, I was actually fearful to be successful. But I had to realize that in order for me to be successful, I had to clear my mind of the fear that was stopping me from thinking outside of the box, right? And so when you're fearful, you'll only operate in the four corners that you know, right? And that's a lot of times what happens is we start boxing God in because the fear of success causes us to say, if I go outside of these four lines, or if I move out of this box that I'm used to, then that could potentially take me away from who God is or who God has called me to be or what God calls me to do. But there are moments where God is actually expecting you to go out of that place so that you can go into a place, right? So fear never wrote a symphony or poem, negotiated a peace treaty, or cured a disease. Fear never pulled a family out of poverty or a country out of bigotry. Fear never saved a marriage or business, but courage did that. Faith did that. He says people who refuse to consult or cower to their timidities did that. But fear itself, fear herds us into a prison and slams the door. Wouldn't it be great to walk out? And I want you to take a moment and think about that. And think about how there have been moments where the fear in your mind has literally imprisoned you to things that you know are no longer beneficial. My apologies. Right? Fear has literally at moments caused people to literally shut down, eliminate certain ideas, eliminate certain pathways. Why? Because I don't know what this person is going to say. And I don't know what this person is going to think. And who's going to support me. And who's going to be there. Right? And who's going to stand by me. Right? And the biggest thing is who's going to be against me. Right? Who doesn't think I'm worthy? Who doesn't think I'm capable? Right? All of these things produce fear inside. Right? And so sometimes we turn down the thing that challenges us because we're fearful to actually conquer that thing. Right? We turn down the road that could present a challenge because we're actually fearful of conquering. And so we remain longer in places that we should not remain in because we're fearful to walk into a place that we never thought we would go. Right? But we want to eliminate the fear that's in our minds so that we can walk into this brand new place that God has for us. And God has a place for each of you to reach. God has a place for each of you to go. And this thing is going to be beneficial to your success. It's going to be beneficial to your thoughts. It's going to be beneficial to your connections, right? Not allowing fear to override you or get the best of you. Okay. So let's look at our scripture for tonight. Exodus chapter 14, verses 10. I'm actually going to do 10 through 14, I believe. I think I'm going to do 10 through 14, I believe. 10 through 14. So watch this. Exodus chapter 14. Scripture says, and Pharaoh approached the Israelites. The Israelites looked up, and there were the Egyptians. So as Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up. And when they looked up, there were the Egyptians. There was the enemy. There was the thing that was fighting against them. There was the thing that they had gotten away from. There was the thing that had for so long held them in a holding pattern, right? And let me tell you something. you don't stop approaching your destiny because the enemy continues to approach you. You don't stop approaching your future because your past keeps trying to approach you, right? No. You keep going in the direction that you need to go in and forget about the thing that's trying to approach you or overtake you. And that's where fear oftentimes gets the best of us, right? We're fearful of what people will say. We're fearful of who's going to approach us. We're fearful of the things that people will say, right? And so as Pharaoh is approaching, instead of them keeping their nose down and staying focused on where God is taking them, they look up and they realize that the Egyptians are there, looking, marching after them. And immediately they were terrified, right? And so they said to Moses, so because there were no empty graves in Egypt, you brought us to the desert to die? So because there was no place for us to be buried in Egypt, now you're going to bring us to a deserted place to die? What have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt? Sometimes fear will cause us to blame people for things that they're not even doing. Fear will literally cause you to look at somebody from a different lens and accuse them of something that they're not even doing, right? And a lot of times you see this when it comes to friendships, right? Or when it comes to relationships. When people have had a bad experience, right? And this is not everybody's testimony, but when people have had a bad experience, right? Trust oftentimes becomes the common denominator. And sometimes fear causes the good people to be perceived by people that have been damaged, hurt, right? In a light that they don't even exist in. And it's not because they've done something wrong. It's not because, they have violated the person. It's because literally fear has caused them to view you from the lens of their hurt. And a lot of times, the good relationships or the good people that God put in your life, we could potentially miss because of the fear and the residue of the fear of what happened before. And so the people that God put in our lives to help us, to support us, to push us, right? We end up looking at them through the lens of the debris from the hurt we had before. Or we end up looking at them through the lens from the mayhem we encountered before, from a previous situation. So verse 12, it says, didn't we say to you in Egypt, leave us alone, let us serve the Egyptians? It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the desert. Let me tell you something. Fear will cause you to okay what you know is not good for you. Let me say, fear will cause you to stay somewhere or stay in something longer than you should because you're so afraid of moving out of the thing that is no longer comfortable to you. Like fear literally has the ability to, yes, kid, to literally debilitate you. Like literally break you down to a place and then convince you that the thing that you know is not good for you is a good place for you to remain. That's the ability that fear has on you. The Egyptians said, listen, it was better for us to stay and serve the thing that wasn't good for us. Fear ain't got the best of you until you stay and serve the thing that's not good for you. You ain't lived in fear until you serve the very thing that you know is not good for you, but you're there because you're willing to remain there because of the fear that is over your life to do something different. Right? You haven't lived in fear until God has made a way of escape for you, and then you return to it because you feel like that's the only way that you're ever going to make it. Right? And it takes faith to move from a thing that you're used to unto a thing that you may not know as well. It takes faith to remove yourself from a thing that has broken you into a thing that you don't know is going to support you or not. Right? Fear will make you become comfortable in a space that's unhealthy. Fear, watch this, will even make you become comfortable in a space that you know is not safe. But because it's common to you, and because you're familiar with it, and because you know all the details of it, I'll rather stay here because at least I know this devil. I don't know what's on the other side of this. So I'm going to stay here because I've mastered how to deal with this. And so we remain in a stagnant place, unable to grow, unable to produce, unable to reach our next level because comfort has been the factor that fear has caused us to reside in. And so I'd rather be comfortable than being critiqued. I'd rather be comfortable and not make crucial changes, right? You see it a lot of times in relationships. People stay longer, and on the outside, it's like, well, why are you still in that? Why are you like they treat you like this? They talk to you like this? Like why are you remaining in a thing that's not good for you? But if it feels good to me, and I'm comfortable with it, I'm fearful to move away from the thing that's not good for me, but feels good to me. Right? And so fear is the thing that has the ability to override what we're trying to accomplish. Right? So watch this. Watch this. If you look at 12 and then look at 13, Moses has a response. And this is what I loved about the text. Moses said, don't be afraid, stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight your battle. You need only to be still. There are moments when your greatest response is no response at all. There are moments when your ability to remain still will allow you to overcome the fear that has taken that has taken over you. There are moments when you remaining stationary in a place is going to allow you to walk in rooms that you never thought you would ever walk into. Sometimes you have to be still and let all the noise just be the noise, right? Sometimes you have to be still and just let things just bounce over you, right? This is going this way. This is going that way. This is going here. This is going. Sometimes you just got to stand still while all the noise is going on until the noise is eliminated. But fear causes us to think that we have to respond to every noise that we hear. So I heard this, so let me respond to this. And I heard that, let me respond to this. And this is going on over here, let me respond to this. And this person needs me, let me respond to that. And that person needs this, bang. And then I got to, and so all the noise is going, and you're just moving everywhere the noise goes, and nothing's being accomplished because you're so fearful of standing still until the noise is silenced that you end up making more noise trying to respond to the noise. And there are some things in our life that are not for us to respond. It's for us to see who God is in our life. Some of the things that the Lord brings us through are absolutely challenging, right? They are challenging. But there are some things that the Lord doesn't want you to respond to. He just wants you to stand still so you can see how he's going to bring you out. A lot of times we can't see the Lord bring us out because we're too busy trying to know how he's going to bring us out. He doesn't need you to know how he's going to do it. He needs you to stand still in confidence, knowing he's going to do it, right? Faith doesn't say that I know what God is going to do. Faith says, I believe God is going to do the right thing. And so there are spaces and moments where God doesn't need you to know. He just needs you to see. There are spaces where God doesn't need to update you on what's next. He needs you to stand still so you can see what's next. And listen, I've been guilty of it. Well, Lord, what's going to happen with this? And how am I going to do this? And how am I going to do that? And how am I going to handle this? And the Lord is saying to me, if you just stand still, then you will see how you're going to get here. And you will see how I'm going to do that. And you will see how I'm going to handle this. And you will see how I'm going to provide for this. God said, I didn't need you to do anything. I needed you to stand still so you can see what I'm going to do. Standing still is probably one of the most challenging things for believers to do, right? Because there is a thing called anxiety. And when we feel we don't have control, we become anxious, and now we want to play God, right? I call it taking on God's role. So God, you moving too slow, so let me help you. Or God, you're not moving as fast as I need you to move concerning this. So God, let me step up and help you. Well, how are you going to help the one that created you? He don't need your help. He don't need your help. If he wanted your help, he would ask you for your help. He don't need your help. He wants you to stand still so you can see the one that's trying to help you. You're trying to help the helper. You're trying to aid the aider. You're trying to give the plan to the master builder. He don't need your help. He knows what he's doing. He ain't never failed. Never failed. Look at your life. Look at your timeline. God has never failed you. So how are you trying to help someone that has never failed? And when we look at our track record, we done failed many a day. God does not need our help. His expectation is that we have faith in who he is and what he's going to do. Sometimes, the things approaching you is designed to remind you who God is, not designed to kill you. Everything that you go through is not designed for God to kill you. And in this scripture, the Israelites are just getting away, right? They are preparing. They are preparing. They are crossing over, preparing to cross over. crossing over into the next thing that God has for them. They are preparing to cross over the sea. And instead of them staying focused on the thing that God is getting ready to do, they are becoming fearful of the thing God is delivering them from. Talk, Pastor Craig. Instead of them having a laser focus on the thing God is taking them to, they're still fearful from the thing that God is leading them out of. And so sometimes we become so consumed with fear that we miss the exit. Don't miss the exit, allowing fear to make you stay somewhere God don't want you to be no more. God is leading them out. But they're so focused on what they know and what they remember and what they had been through and where they had gone, to the point of they didn't even, they no longer believed that God could do anything for them. So not only did they lose their faith in God, they lost their faith in the one that God gave them to lead them. They said to Moses, oh, so because there was no more graves in Egypt, you decided to bring us somewhere so we could die? Although Moses couldn't go over, that didn't disqualify them from going over. This is the time where God is allowing you to do what the generation before you could not do. Come on, y'all. This is the moment where God is raising up the ones to cross over into a land that the ones before them could not cross over to. But if you are fearful, then you will miss it like the ones before you missed it. Moses couldn't go over because he was not obedient to God's instructions. So there are some things that the generation before did not accomplish, not because they weren't anointed to do it, but because they didn't follow the directions, the expectations, and so they missed it. But when God's will needs to be done, even if he sits down one, he'll raise up another to do what the one before did not do. But you'll miss your opportunity to accomplish what the one before you couldn't do, because fear will tell you if they didn't do it, then you won't be able to do it. So you might as well remain comfortable in the space that you've always been in. And so we have to remind ourselves that everything that God allowed to approach us, it was to remind us of who he was. And fear will cause you to think that dying is better than living. Y'all ain't saying nothing. There are moments where fear will cause you to think that staying here in this comfort and dying is better than going into a place unknown and living. Fear will cause you to believe that. Fear will say, why are you going to leave the thing that you've always known? Why are you going to leave the place that you've always been? You don't know what's up there. At least you know what's here. At least you know who's here. At least you know their characteristics. At least you know their traits. At least you know the things that they will do. And so it'll cause you to be comfortable in a state of complacency, instead of being uncomfortable in a place that allows you to grow. This next season is for the believers that are willing to grow into a new place. Not go into, grow into, which causes us to grow out of a space of complacency and grow into a place that we've never been before. God is leading us. He's allowing us to grow out of complacency and grow into a space of completeness, right? Because when you're complacent, you're not complete. You're just in a space that's comfortable. But God is moving us out of the state of comfort and complacency and moving us into a space of completeness and wholeness. But we have to be willing to get up out of where we are and grow into the thing that God is calling us to be. There is more for you than what you believe, but you have to be willing to go get out of and grow into, get up from and grow into, go away from and grow into. Yeah. But fear, complacency will make you say, I've always been successful here. This has never failed me. So why do I need to change it? Because complacency only allows you to reach marginal success. We don't want to be partially anything. We want to be complete everything, right? We're getting out of the partial anything and growing into the complete everything, right? I'm not living in a space of, I partially got this, I partially got that. No. My entire being, life, future is going to be complete. I'm not living in the partial phase anymore. I've lived there long enough, and that's made me complacent, and it's allowed me to accept less than what I should. But when I get into the complete part of it, it allows me to see the fullness of the picture, right? So realizing that sometimes fear is so strong that it will make you think dying in complacency is better than growing into completeness. Moses, watch this. He answers them and he said to them, there's no need for you to be afraid. You just need to stand firm and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. And what you see today, you're not going to even see no more. The Lord will fight for you. You just need to be still. So how can we be fearful when we serve a God who hasn't, number one, given us that spirit, number two, can deliver us? So how can we be fearful serving a God that did not give that to us and has the ability to deliver us? Watch this. So even if you don't have the two, at least you can be confident in the one. So even if you don't have the ability to understand that God didn't give you the spirit of fear, you still know that God is a deliverer. But fear will cause you to take this spirit on and lose your faith in the fact that God can deliver you from the thing. How can we be afraid when the God we serve has the ability to eliminate our enemies? Right? God has the ability to literally, in his method of delivering you, eliminating the thing that's trying to kill you, eliminating the thing that has harmed you, eliminating the thing that has been a barrier for you. Moses wasn't talking about God just delivering them. He talked about God eliminating them. He said, you see, the ones you see today, you will never see again. Can I tell y'all this? This is the season where God is eliminating the thing. Y'all ain't saying that. God is not just delivering you in this season. God is eliminating the thing that has been bothering you, hindering you in this season. Eliminating it, getting rid of it altogether. God is eliminating the thing. But it is contingent on our ability to believe that God can do whatever he needs to do and whatever we need him to do. And watch this. What I loved about Moses here is, although he knows he can't go, he doesn't stop them from still going. Sometimes fear is so great that we won't even support people that end up going ahead of us. Sometimes fear is so great that we will literally try to hinder the one that's going before us. Because we believe if somebody goes before us, then that means God has forgotten about me. Moses says, hey, I'm not going. I can't go. I'm not gonna be able to go on the other side of that. But he never discouraged them from going. He never discouraged them from going. He said, yeah, you probably should just stay here. This is where I'm going to be anyway. So you might as well stay. He said, no, you don't need to fight about this. You don't need to, there's no need for you to get into this. What you see today, you're not going to see you're not going to see them ever again. Once God gets done, the thing you worried about is not going to even be in existence. Can I say this to y'all? The thing that has held you down, that has caused you to be fearful, let it go, because you're not even going to see it. God's going to eliminate it. You don't have to be fearful about success. You have to be fearful about your future. There is nothing in the past or present that is going to hurt your next level. God's going to eliminate all of it. That's why when I see my friends winning, I'm the first one to send a message. I'm the first one to respond on it. Why? Fear doesn't cause me to say, oh, well, God ain't did it for me. No. I want God to do it for you, so he can get you out the way, and then he can take care of my stuff. We no longer need to live in fear. KDT, I'm speaking to every single last one of you, and I'm not just speaking of ministry-wise. I am talking about in your personal lives. You no longer need to be afraid of being successful. You no longer need to be afraid of the opposition that has always put itself in front of you. The opposition can't defeat you. It tries to intimidate you because it can't defeat you. That's what you need to understand. What God has for you is bigger than the thing trying to overtake you. But you can't let fear overtake you and cause that thing to overtake your next level. Be great. Make mistakes. But work at it. Go for it. Your next deal is waiting on you. But you're fearful. You're so afraid. Go for it. Your next collaboration is waiting on you, but you're so afraid. Go for it. Go for it. Don't, what are you standing stagnant for? Well, this is the way I've done it for the last 20 years. Okay, so do it differently now. 20 years has been great, but do it differently. Trusting that God is going to do what he needs to do. There will always be opposition. There will always be challenges. There will always be readjustments. But don't allow afraid. You're so afraid to be successful that you rather forego and continue to work on a job that is only frustrating you more and more by the day. Let that job be your money to fund your own situation. Don't stand stagnant because the money is good. Let that money work for you so you can do what you want to do, what you love to do, not what you feel like you have to do. But fear will cause you to say, oh, I'm just going to stay here because I've been doing this for a long. Well, when are you going to do what God called you to do? When are you going to do what God has created you to do? When are you going to do that? When are you going to do that? When you move on what God has called you to do, I promise you, provision will be there to bless you. All right. Let's take our sacrificial seed tonight. If everybody can grab a $10 seed, I'm going to put the Cash App on the bottom of the screen. Everybody can get our $10 seed and just type done in the comments. Stop living in a space of complacency and grow into the place of completeness. It's time for you to complete some things. You've been working on some stuff for a long time, but now it's time to complete that thing. As many as you can, join us tonight with our $10 seed, $ Kingdom DT19. It's time to complete. It's time. Listen, we don't have time to talk about it. We don't have time to keep discussing it. We don't have time to keep meeting about it. No. It's time to complete some stuff. I see y'all giving. Thank you. I see y'all giving. It's time for you. Listen, start completing some stuff. How long are you going to keep looking in that notebook saying, God, I believe this is what you called me to do? So when are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? God, I believe that you've set my life up. So when are you going to do it? When are you going to actually step out and start to work on completing the thing that God has called you to? Opposition is going to be a part of everything. There's always going to be challenges and loopholes and things that you will have to, watch this, grow through in order to be successful. But when the thing comes, you can't, become like the Israelites and start crying and complaining. And now you got an attitude with God. And now you're mad at your husband. And now you're yelling at the kids because you got a little opposition. The opposition ain't to kill you. The opposition is to show you how God gonna come through for you. Listen, you can't put your faith in God and God let you down. Come on, y'all. What? You can't put your faith in God and God let you down. God will never fail you. Never. The arms of flesh will fail you every time. God will never fail you. We got to stop putting our faith in the thing and put our faith in the God of the thing. Put your faith in the God of the thing. Hillary, I love you, man. I love you. You're doing an amazing job, praise and worship too. I meant to tell you that, man. I caught you a couple Sundays. Amazing, man. I'm so proud of you. Put your faith in the God of the thing so you can complete it. Listen, when God gave you the vision, when he gave you the dream, I'm getting ready to log off, when he gave you the whole plan, opposition was a part of that. That was in the description. But God's mighty hand was also a part of the description. But we have to put our faith in the God of the thing. I love you, man. I appreciate you too. In the God of the thing, not the thing. God can do what you'll never be able to do. And sometimes, okay, call me B. And sometimes we miss it. We watch this. We miss it because we looking for money and God is trying to give us favor. When you got favor, you don't need no money. But you're fearful to trust God and depending on man to fund what God is trying to completely take care of. Completely take care of. You depending on people to fund what God will give you a zero balance of. Come on, y'all. Come on. Put your faith in God and watch him do it. And the thing that'll rise up against you, he will eliminate it completely. You won't even see it. The only thing you'll see is yourself being like the Israelites, walking over to the next lane, walking over. God will do the impossible to eliminate the thing that's trying to control you or overtake you. I serve the God of the impossible. He can eliminate it. But we have to put our faith in God. Again, if you want to sow tonight, $ Kingdom DT 19. We appreciate you sowing each week. Father, we thank you. We bless you. We appreciate you. Thank you for these, your people. Thank you for this word tonight. Father, allow us to put our faith in the completed work that you have for us. Father, help us to put our faith in you, knowing that all we need to do is stand still so that we are able to see the deliverance that you have for us. Bless these, your people. Bless every house. Bless every home. God, bless every job, every career idea, every business idea, every interview on deck, every email response awaiting. God, speed it up and do it for your people this week. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Listen, I love you. I appreciate it. I see you guys saying done. You can keep giving. $ Kingdom DT 19. I love each and every one of you. KDT, I will see you guys on Sunday.